I wouldn't get one free on select items.
You're going to like the way you look in a great fitting suit.
Tonight, breaking news, the president and the payment. President Trump now confirming he paid his lawyer, Michael Cohen, more than $100,000 after he denied knowing anything about the hush money paid to Stormy Daniels. What his new financial disclosure now reveals. Also tonight, North Korea. Will the summit happen after all? Kim Jong-un furious with comments coming from the White House. President Trump had said it is simple, they get rid of their nukes. But tonight, the first standoff before the summit. The White House now responding. The school shooting today, seniors gathering, rehearsing for graduation when a fellow senior begins shooting in the school. The deadly package and the explosion inside this building, the woman killed.
I need to have the building evacuated, all crews pulled back from the incident.
The children running for cover at what authorities revealed late today. The severe storms we're watching tonight, at least 5 dead, several confirmed tornadoes, and now the new storms moving up the East Coast. The new code red declared in Hawaii tonight as we fly you right over that volcano. What they are now concerned about this evening. And breaking developments involving the royal wedding, the American marrying the prince. And tonight, what we have just learned about her father.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. And we begin with breaking developments involving President Trump and the payment, the money he now admits he paid his attorney and friend, Michael Cohen. President Trump's personal financial disclosure report was made public today, showing he reimbursed Cohen for up to $250,000. The exact amount was not clear. The president had told Americans on Air Force One he was unaware of any payment to Stormy Daniels and said, "You'd have to ask my lawyer." ABC's Kira Phillips leading us off.
Just last month, President Trump claimed he knew nothing about his lawyer Michael Cohen's hush payment to Stormy Daniels.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels?
But today, the president officially acknowledged paying back Cohen himself last year. It's buried in a footnote on page 45 of his mandatory personal financial disclosure report. In 2016, expenses were incurred by one of Donald J. Trump's attorneys, Michael Cohen. Mr. Trump fully reimbursed Mr. Cohen in 2017, between $100,000 and $250,000. It was the president's new lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who first broke the news Trump repaid Cohen for the hush money.
Funneled through law firm, and the president repaid it.
Oh, I didn't know he did.
Yep.
The president says he formally disclosed the payment today in the interest of transparency, insisting he is not required to do so. But the Office of Government Ethics disagrees, writing in its own footnote, the information related to the payment made by Mr. Cohen is required to be reported. Today's documents also reveal business is booming at the president's Washington hotel. Trump International pulling in more than $40 million last year. Also doing well, Mar-a-Lago, $25 million in 2017.
Many of the world's great leaders request to come to Mar-a-Lago.
As for how it all affects the president's bottom line, we still don't know. Mr. Trump refuses to release his tax returns. This year, he filed for an extension.
And Kira Phillips with us live tonight from the White House. And Kira, President Trump says he did not have to disclose his payment to Michael Cohen, that he did it, quote, in the interest of transparency. But the Office of Government Ethics tonight saying that's not true. They've informed the Justice Department.
David, that's right. Ethics officials want to make sure that the Department of Justice has all these documents. It's unclear, though, whether they're going to pursue an investigation. But there are questions tonight about whether the president was required to disclose this payment last year. David?
Kira Phillips leading us off tonight. Kira, thank you. Meantime, tonight, the president dealing with something else, North Korea. Will the summit take place after all? Tonight here, the first standoff before the summit. North Korea now threatening to cancel the talks. Today slamming the U.S. for what it calls one-sided demands to give up its nuclear weapons. The president was asked today whether the summit is still on. And ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl with how he answered.
If President Trump is rattled by the latest threats from North Korea, he's not showing it.
We'll see what happens. We'll see. Time will tell.
Earlier, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said the latest move by North Korea came as no surprise.
This is something that we fully expected.
But the change in tone is dramatic, from the all-smiles meetings between Kim Jong-un and the Secretary of State to an angry statement by North Korea's chief negotiator saying he is totally disappointed by the extremely unjust recent comments by U.S. officials. He singled out the American demand that North Korea give up all its nuclear weapons before getting anything in return.
We want to see the denuclearization process so completely underway that it's irreversible.
North Korea now says such talk could scuttle the summit. If the U.S. is trying to drive us into a corner to force our unilateral nuclear abandonment, we will no longer be interested in such dialogue. The North Koreans seem particularly upset by National Security Advisor John Bolton, who called on them to do what Libya did more than a decade ago.
We have very much in mind the Libya model from 2003, 2004.
The Libya model? After Libya gave up its nuclear program, Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi was overthrown and murdered on the streets. North Korea once called Bolton human scum. Today they add, quote, "We do not hide our feelings of repugnance towards him." They may also be aware of the political stakes for President Trump, who is mused about winning a Nobel Prize.
That's very nice, thank you. That's very nice. Nobel. I just want to get the job done.
So let's get to John Karl. He's live at the briefing room there inside the White House tonight. And John, the summit now less than a month away. Bottom line tonight for folks at home, does the White House think this summit is going to happen?
Well, the planning for the summit continues, and as you have seen with the muted response from the White House to the latest from North Korea, they don't want to do anything to throw it off. So for now, David, at least, it is all systems go.
All right, John Karl there at the White House. John, thanks as always. Next tonight, the high school shooting that broke out as seniors were rehearsing for graduation. It happened in Dixon, Illinois, a fellow senior with the gun, and then the hero officer. Here's ABC's Alex Perez.
Horrified students hugging in relief outside this Illinois high school after a tragedy is averted by a quick-thinking school resource officer now being called a hero.
Shots fired at Dixon High School. Shots fired at Dixon High School.
Police say it began just after 8 a.m. when a 19-year-old student showed up with a gun and opened fire, shooting near a gym packed with seniors rehearsing for graduation.
All I heard was something like that sounded like firecrackers, saw some smoke. The popping scared everybody.
School resource officer Mark Dallas immediately jumping into action, chasing the gunman out of the school.
With shots ringing out through the hallways of the school, he charged toward the suspect and confronted him head on.
The suspect, Matt Milby, firing at the officer as he fled the building. Dallas returning fire, striking him. Tonight, the alleged shooter's mother saying she's grateful the officer did not take her son's life as authorities now begin their investigation.
There's no justification for what he's done.
Let's go to Alex Perez. He's with us live tonight from the scene. The gunman in custody, and tonight police are crediting that officer and the training he received, Alex.
That's right, David. The sheriff here tells me that officer has been in law enforcement for about 2 decades. He made a split-second decision to chase the gunman out of the school, a decision that authorities here say absolutely saved lives. David?
Alex, thank you. And tonight to the deadly explosion inside a building in Southern California. Authorities revealing a woman was killed by what appears to be a package that blew up. A chaotic scene, the FBI on the scene again tonight. A nearby daycare evacuated, the children holding hands. ABC's Kana Whitworth with what authorities revealed late today.
Tonight, authorities saying the deadly explosion that rocked a Southern California community, killing a 40-year-old woman, was no accident. Sheriff's officials say it's possible Ildiko Krynak, the owner of the day spa, may have been targeted.
Investigators are still working to confirm whether or not this was an intentional act.
At this point, our working theory is that this explosion was caused by a device.
Sources say preliminary indicators are that the device was inside a package that was dropped off at the business.
At this time, we do not know how the device arrived at the location.
The blast killing Krynak and injuring 3 others. 100 children evacuated from a daycare across the street. Babies wheeled to safety in their cribs. The extent of the damage seen here, the photos from inside the building. Today, investigators were seen removing boxes of evidence from the victim's home. The Associated Press reporting she was separated but still living there with her husband.
And Kena with us again tonight. And Kena, authorities trying to calm the public there, I know, because you told us they do not believe there's a possibility of any other devices at this point.
Right, David. So authorities saying tonight they don't see any additional threat to the public and found no evidence of more targets. David?
That is reassuring. Kena, thank you again tonight. Next this evening, the deadly storms hitting the east. The system moving up the coast and the new round now of heavy rain from Florida all the way up to New York. At least 4 confirmed tornadoes hitting the Northeast, including Newburgh, New York. States of emergencies in parts of New York and Connecticut tonight. 5 deaths now blamed on the storms, including an 11-year-old killed by a falling tree in Newburgh. She was in the car with her mother. And in Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania, look at this, a rainbow and lightning sending mixed messages as we deal with this tumultuous weather. Let's get right back to meteorologist Rob Marciano with us live along the West Side Highway tonight. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. Thankfully, tonight we're not dealing with the severe stuff of last night, but nearly every state along the East Coast is dealing with some form of rain. Check it out. It's very wet on the radar. A lot of this is some tropical moisture across parts of Florida. A little low there, spinning in from the Gulf of Mexico. Will continue to spit up through Georgia and then kind of hit that stationary front that's been there really for a good week. So the same areas that have been getting hit for 4 or 5 days, including D.C., will get more rain during the day tomorrow and overnight tomorrow night into Friday. And then flood watches out from West Virginia to D.C., Baltimore, Philly, and Dover, Pennsylvania. Could see 5 inches or more in some of those spots. That's just through Friday, and more rain coming over the weekend. David?
A gray night there behind you, Rob. Thank you. Next tonight, the new code red declared in Hawaii tonight. Authorities issuing the alert because of that giant ash cloud we showed you last night, rising 12,000 feet into the air. Potential danger not only to residents, but now they say aviation, airplanes in the region. New images coming in of the massive cracks in the earth releasing lava and toxic gas. ABC's Matt Gutman flying over the scene a short time ago, filing this report for us.
David, you can see that line of fissures. All of them appear to be active today, billowing that smoke, steam, ash, and sulfur dioxide into the air. In fact, you can smell it right now. That cloud that they're creating above us is about 10,000 to 12,000 feet high. This is still very much an active scene. And the concern is that the sulfur dioxide blanket is moving towards the populated areas of Hawaii right now. David.
Matt Gutman flying over the scene, filing that report earlier today. Matt, thank you. Now to the landmark settlement tonight involving former gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar. His former employer, Michigan State University, now agreeing to a $500 million deal with hundreds of his victims. And for the first time right here tonight, a look at the disturbing police videos. Nassar, in his own words, being asked important questions before that conviction. Here again tonight, ABC's Lindsay Davis.
Just as we learned about that historic $500 million settlement, today a first look at disturbing police interviews with Larry Nassar.
I was victimized to myself.
The former doctor calls himself a victim.
I don't get it. Why didn't she say something if she was feeling violated in any way, shape, and form? There was no communication.
In the first interview in 2014, Nassar even showed officers videos of what he described as medical treatment.
If you don't have patient confidence and patient trust, you would have been having my in here how many times?
Right.
Okay, especially when I'm doing this on 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, okay, with their parents there.
Nassar routinely blocked the parents' view.
Has there been another complaint? I'm just so confused right now.
2 years later, another accuser. Police question if he got aroused while conducting the so-called medical procedures.
If there was arousal, it's I mean, like, it would be because of whatever. I don't know, but I'm not trying to.
That 2016 complaint from Rachel Denhollander led to more allegations and criminal charges for Nassar.
This is what it looks like when the adults in authority do not respond properly to disclosures of sexual assault.
And Lindsay Davis with us back on this story again tonight. And we should point out that Rachel Denhollander is speaking out about this settlement tonight.
Yes, David, she says that she is deeply disappointed at the missed opportunity for meaningful reform at the university, and also disappointed that they have not reached a resolution with USA Gymnastics and the U.S. Olympic Committee. This settlement only applies to MSU. David.
All right, Lindsay Davis with us here tonight. Lindsay, thanks as always. And one more note, there are new developments tonight in the Russia investigation. Senators on the Judiciary Committee today releasing Donald Trump Jr.'s testimony about that meeting during the campaign with that Russian attorney in Trump Tower, among others who were in the room. The president's oldest son admitting he took